Welcome to my Jeep again, and let's go check out what we're doing today. Alright, so some of you are gonna bitch because it's a Harbor Freight winch, but you know what? They make good stuff. So here it is, it's a 9,000 pound winch. And we're gonna be trying to install this. Here's the instruction manual. Alright, so here it is, 9,000 pound winch. We're gonna be installing this on the front end of my Jeep. Let's go check out where it's going. Alright, so I know the wind is really bad right now, but it's going to be going right behind this thing here. So let's see, it'll go somewhere right where that Jeep logo is. We got to remove it first, so that's what we're going to start with. Alright, so we're going to be using this 10mm ratcheting wrench, and we're just going to unscrew these. Basically, we're just removing the cover, and then we're going to try and fit the winch plate down here that you have to actually buy separate from the winch itself. Two more on the other side. Just gonna undo these. And then one behind here. It's a little hard to see. Hopefully you guys can see it. Now that we got the bolts undone, let's pop this thing off just like that and figure out how we're gonna mount the winch. Actually, that looks like we should get some rust converter on there as well. And there's some wires and brake lines and stuff that need tending to. Brake lines don't look bad, but those wires might need some work. Alright guys, so this is the winch mount, which is like I think 40 bucks. And it doesn't quite fit with this custom brush guard, bumper guard, whatever you want to call it. I said it before, the guy who owned it before me built it in high school, which it is really solid steel. So as you can see there, it is pretty solid. But with how it's set up, it's a little hard to fit this thing in here. So I'm pretty sure we're supposed to use these two big bolts there and mount it here. But with the sway bar, I believe, right, the anti-sway bar, it's kind of in the way. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to get this to fit. Alright, so what we're going to do really quick is mark where we got to cut. Alright, so we added this small hole right next to this one, kind of like a pre-hole to drill it out, because we got to make the hole a little bigger to fit the bolt in correctly. Let's see if this will work, hopefully. So I'm going to have to charge the battery on the drill really quick. Be probably about 2 hours. It'll probably be dark by then, so I'm not sure if I'm going to do the filming today. So what I'm doing now is basically adding some nuts, and then I'll be adding a few washers here. Let's kind of zoom in. So as you can see, there was some space. So I just need to add like 1 or 2 washers, and then it'll be more level. With this, you can see I had to do some cutting and drilling because it didn't have a hole where it would need to line up. But that's because it's a universal winch plate. And then here's the other one on this side. Alright, so just need to make sure this is bolted down. And then it should be good. And now the other side. Alright, and now it's time to install this on the front. So we just got to get the bolts out of here, which are right here. Alright guys, yeah, it's a little colder than it was before, about 2 days ago. It's about 30 degrees less, but time to bolt this thing up. Looks like it should go right on there like that. Not sure, maybe like this actually, because the sticker's there. But alright, let's see. Okay, there's 2 different size bolts. There's like a fatter, shorter one, and a longer, skinnier one. Gotta figure out which one's which. Alright, so it's definitely the skinnier one that's gonna go on here. So we'll put it through here, looks like. Alright, so let's see, line it up there. And let's grab the nut. And I'm doing it this way just so, I'm pretty sure this is the way you're supposed to do it. So there's more room for the winch in there. So, you know, the bolts are sticking outward. Alright, so I was actually wrong. It's the fatter, shorter ones that go on the front here. And the 4 smaller, longer, skinnier ones go on the underside of the winch. So yeah, it goes on like that. My bad. That's the small bolt that's going to go inside the winch from the bottom. So you got like a washer and a spacer. Alright, so here's the underside of the winch. There's those recessed parts there. So the nut goes inside there, the square nut. Then there's 2 more up here. Again, the nut goes there so it locks into place. Alright, so we're kind of on the underside now. So there's the front bolt, and then there's another front bolt over here. It's a little hard to see where it's focused right now. Hopefully you guys can see it in the video. Then there's 2 more in the back that I'm gonna have to reach to get, and then I'll have to bolt them down tight with, you know, a wrench or something. Alright, so I had to take out the 2 big bolts that are holding on the winch plate mount. So as you can see there, it's lifted up so I could get to the back bolts that mount the winch to the winch plate, or winch mount, whatever you want to call it. So yeah. All right, now for the other side. Just gonna get under here and tighten this one up. All right, now we're gonna lube it up with Quicken CLP Tactical Diamond Coating
and protect the cable from wear and weather.
Alright, now it's time to put the hook on. Before I can attach the hook, I gotta do the wiring first. Alright, so it's actually the next day, and last night I went back to Harbor Freight and got a 12,000 pound winch, which you can see right over there. It says 12,000 pounds. It was about $30 more than the 9,000 pound winch because Harbor Freight was doing their, you know, their tent sale outside. And, you know, I got the Track Club membership, so I got a really good discount. Alright, so yeah, as you can see, the box is on backwards. It's kind of ghetto rigged. But that's because with this custom-made brush guard or bumper guard, whatever you want to call it, the box actually won't fit. It's too close to the front end here. It's too close to the grill here. So these don't fit in between here. So I had to have the box turned around. So I'm probably gonna get some like silicone or something, make sure these are plugged up in case, you know, water hits it and stuff like that. But the wire comes out of here, so it should be fine with these wires. I'll try and make it a little nicer too. So see you in a bit. Alright, so all the wiring is hooked up. Now I just have to do the battery. Alright, so this is basically simple. This is a black wire with a yellow end cap on it. And there's a yellow end cap here on the winch itself. Then this is a black wire with a black end cap with a black like boot on it here on the winch itself. And then this is a red wire with a red boot with a red spot right here. So you basically just connect all those. Then I fed the wires through, and I still need to get the let's see, the ground wire from the box hooked up, and then have to hook it up to the battery. So I got to do this wire first before I connect it to the battery. It's basically the ground wire. Alright, so we have the circuit breakers hooked up now, so we're going to try and start it up and see if it works. We now have the remote hooked up, so let's see if it works. It's kind of noisy, and it looks like it turned the wrong way.
Come out?
Yeah.
Oh man, that is, oh, here we go.
There we go.
Okay, hook up the hook.
Alright, so now we got to put the hook on.
That should be fine.
so it's finally on now, and it seems to be working. So what we need to do now is basically unspool it, tie it up to probably a tree, and then I guess pre-tension it. So see you guys in a bit.